dumb thing I say. I'm like, yo, look at the butt on that chick. She's like, have fun with your lonely life.
It's true.
I say things to make you laugh, honey.
Me too, my love.
That's also why I take off my clothes sometimes. Tell me this ain't funny. In a tragic sort of way. It's not funny. What are you saying?
In a tragic way, no.
She's not prepared for my, how does my son put it? My comedic gothic stylings.
Exactly.
Ladies and gentlemen, being in Mexico has rubbed off on me. Let's put it that way.
Without a G-string, definitely.
Jesus. Someone in Mexico rubbed off on me. I don't fucking know. Someone at the DMV, I guess. But I'll explain it to you later. And then you'll leave me. And then you'll tell me, have fun with your lonely life. Anyway, so being in Mexico, I heard this song, and because when it's Spanish music, for some reason I don't really listen to the lyrics like I do when it's music with English subtitles. So pop music in America immediately turns me off, and especially when I hear the lyrics, I'm like, oh my god, that's so fucking stupid. But for some reason, when I'm in like a salsa bar or something, not really paying attention to the lyrics, and I heard this song by this gothic icon named Enrique Iglesias. And I really fucking liked this song, and then I was like, Jesus, I sing that song. It's called Bailando, dancing, and I sing it all the time. And then I stopped and I listened to the lyrics, and I was like, no, this could be improved upon. This could be improved upon. So we have taken Enrique Iglesias' song Bailando, and we have made it about vampires. It's called Chupando, which for those of you who don't speak Spanish means sucking, but in Mexican slang, sucking also means drinking. So you would say like, hey, do you want to go out sucking tonight? This is not getting better. This is only getting worse. Ladies and gentlemen, Chupando. La respiración y si me pones una bala en el corazón, sinceramente casi no hay manera de matarme. Mientras yo no salgo cuando está brillando el sol.
Pues sí tienes razón.
Estoy muerto y no muerto. Los vecinos me van enterrando y yo sigo subiendo. Estoy muerto y no muerto. Yo duermo en una tumba en un cementerio. Es mi física y mi química, también mi anatomía. Soy murciélago de noche y yo duermo por el día. Déjame en paz, déjame en paz. Una vaga melodía, no es una fantasía, es mi filosofía.
Se llama necromancía.
Déjame en paz, unidad. Porque soy vampiro, nací vampiro, morí vampiro, seguí vampiro, la sangre brota. Porque soy vampiro, nací vampiro, morí vampiro, seguí vampiro, llena mi boca, en esta noche loca. That was the improv part of the song. I'm gonna go have fun with my lonely life. Jesus Christ, I really don't know how this goes. Oh, you can say it on the mic. Don't laugh your asses off that I have no idea what the fuck I'm doing.
Soy un monstruo y yo vine de otra dimensión.
That makes no sense. Who wrote this crap? Mi bandera tiene el símbolo del dragón. Qué ironía digestiva cuando tengo hambre. Tomo sangre, pero no tengo en el corazón. mi anatomía, soy murciélago de noche y yo duermo por el día. Déjame en paz, déjame en paz. Una vaga melodía, no es una fantasía, es mi filosofía.
Se llama necromancía.
Déjame en paz, en la oscuridad, porque soy vampiro, nací vampiro, morí vampiro, seguí vampiro, la sangre rota, súbete y rota, porque soy vampiro, nací vampiro, morí vampiro, seguí vampiro, llena mi boca, en esta noche loca, chupando, chupando. Mayumi Toyoda! Now, a lot of people don't know this about Mayumi unless you happen to be from Mexico. But Mayumi has had a singing career of over 20 years. She's been singing with some of the most famous ska bands in Mexico. Tijuana No, Los de Abajo, bands you probably don't know here. funny story. The day we met on Bumble. And 5 years ago, we'd now been engaged for 5 years. And we met 5 years ago, and I happened to be in Mexico City doing a show, and I invited her to my show. And she was like, "Oh, you're a musician." She said, "I'm a singer too." And I was like, "Oh, wow, that's really awesome. We have something in common." And she came to my show, and it was sold out. There was 400 people there, and it was packed. And she walked in, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm playing here tonight." So I was like, feeling pretty good about myself because it was like really packed, and I have a date with this girl. Not really like at the show, but I said, bring a friend because I'm going to be at the merch booth all night long. Like I might be able to say hi for a minute, but I won't be able to hang out with you. And the backstage was in a balcony. It was overlooking the venue, and I saw her walk in with a friend of hers. And I went down and I dug her out of the crowd and I said, "Would you two like to watch the show from the balcony?" And she was like, "Sure." So they came up to the backstage and they were like standing on the balcony watching the show. It was like Romeo and Juliet. I just did the whole show like this. I just did the whole show looking up at her. She claims that I played for 3 hours that night. But I was trying to show her my longevity, my ability to stay in the game, if you know what I mean. She claims I played for 3 hours. I don't know if that's true. And then after the show, this is a true story. After the show, I went backstage upstairs, and I said, "Thank you so much for coming to the show." We stepped backstage for a second. I drank some water. I wiped off my face. I said, but not unfortunately, but I can't hang out with you now. I have to go to the merch booth. And there was 400 people in the merch booth. I said, "I'm going to go down there. I'm going to say hi to everybody. So I can't hang out with you. But thank you so much for coming." I said, "You're a singer also. When is your next show?" She said, "It's in 5 days." I said, "Okay, well, I'll come back in 5 days to see your show." And her friend, who is a Gothic tattoo artist mortician in her 40s. And I always say all those words in a row so that you can sense the cynicism that is coming off of this human. She folded her arms as she looked at me and she said, "You're going to go to New York tomorrow morning and you're going to fly back to Mexico in 5 days to see her play." And I looked her right in her good eye. I will come to Mexico every week of the year if that is what's necessary to get to know this woman. And she was awesome. So the punchline of this story is that 5 days later I flew back to Mexico and I was like, "All right, let's go to your show." And she was like, "Okay, hop in my car. We got to drive like an hour outside the city." And I was like, "Oh, okay, we're going to drive out to the suburbs or something." And we go to this field, and she played in this festival. And I wish I had the footage to show you. It's on my Instagram, but it's 5 years back. She played to like 40,000 people. And it was at that moment that I realized what a douchebag I was. So in any case, the point of all of this is that after 20 years of singing in all of these different bands, she's finally doing her solo project. If you're interested in hearing it, you came to the merch booth, you were more than likely given a postcard with a picture of her on it. There's a code on the back. She's released her first single ever as a solo artist. It's only on Bandcamp. Please go check it out. Give her $1 for her song. And perhaps, at 4 in the morning when we go to Waffle House, she can get her home fries covered, smothered, and capped.
Yeah!